Nick Sirianni was wearing his Beat Dallas shirt yesterday. Will you be using that for bulletin board material?
No, I don't think it's necessary. Our football team clearly is in tune with the importance of the game, the importance of the rivalry that goes on, and most importantly, it's a division game. I mean, these division games carry so much more weight. There's a division focus, template that we emphasize, and we clearly see these guys as a team that's playing well. New coach, new things. We're more focused on the unscouted looks and the challenges that they give us throughout all three units.
Coach, do you agree with us that rivalries have kind of faded over the years? Like, we grew up believing that our favorite team's players hated the other team's players, and now it feels like it's more like fan base versus fan base. Have rivalries kind of changed over the past 20 years with your experience?
I think free agency's changed it some. I think that's fair, but you also don't want to get cut. You don't want to be blind to it either. You don't want to be definitely don't want to be on the short end of the emotion that goes into these games. So, I think every division, has teams that you could be someone else's bigger, a bigger rivalry to someone else that's not as big as for you. And I think you just got to be aware of that, and you definitely don't want to be on the wrong side of the emotion, focus and everything that goes into the game.
So you don't have a Beat Philly shirt?
I won't be wearing it at the press conference.
But you do have one. I like it.
Coach, whenever we go through the schedule and we're like, all right, we're going to win this against the division and that, and this will be an easy win, former players will text us and say the division games are just different. You can't count. You got to count on a closer game versus, a blowout or handling another team. What is it about these division games? Is it just that you see them one extra time per year and you're more familiar with each other, or do you subscribe to that? Why are these division games sometimes so much tougher, even though it may look like a little bit of a mismatch on paper?
My experience has been it's you're playing the common opponent. Last week was the opposite. You're playing an uncommon opponent. You only play the AFC divisions once every 4 years. There's players in the game that you have not competed against. We're an extremely young football team, so it's a new experience for our guys. A lot of guys either way, but our young players that were here last year, they have played Philadelphia twice. So this is a common opponent, and everything that goes into it. The players know each other better. The matchups are clearer. The mannerisms of the combination of matchups between maybe the right tackle or right guard and their defensive tackle. So it just, everything is heightened, and there's just so much more awareness and the ability to stay focused on the details of your instincts and awareness play to a higher level in these division games.
Mike McCarthy, every Friday with us here on Shan and RJ 105.3 The Fan. How much more difficult is it to prepare for a brand new head coach in Nick Sirianni? Does it make your prep that much more difficult because there's less of a sample?
There's more research. I mean, you spend more time in the area of research. We're watching a number of different videos. We're watching Nick's film from Indianapolis. We're watching Coach Gannon's film from his past. Minnesota. I'm out. So you go back and there's more history study from a schematic standpoint, because the reality of playing these first 4 weeks of the season, September football, there's always new thoughts, new ideas, new wrinkles that coaches have been preparing throughout the off season and into training camp. So you're going to get new wrinkles regardless. Now you got to throw on top of it, it's a new staff. So so there's more research that goes into it, and that's what the off season's for, and frankly having an extra day is beneficial.
Coach, what have you seen from Jalen Hurts on film that's maybe a little bit different this year versus last year?
I think he's playing. His style of play is very similar, and I think this offense highlights that too. I mean, his ability to play in the pocket and out of the pocket in the pass game is definitely a strength. He looks a lot more comfortable in the pocket this year than the few games he played last year. And he's just such a weapon outside of the pocket, throwing and running the ball. He looks extremely comfortable outside the pocket. So I think I would say he has more command than I recall last year. But I've been impressed with the way he's played in the first 2 games.